I started to work on the process of trying to get a voice meter set up, which is like a audio mixing program. So you can either do it with hardware, right, with a huge hardware mixer, like the Go XLR, but that's $600 or something like that. Or you can donate, a reasonable amount of money to these people that make donationware called Voice Meter, which is really popular. And there's a ton of videos out there on how to do it, but everybody comes up with their own solution that works for them.
Sure.
And like you can watch everybody's videos, but like if you're a streamer, this is the best way to set it up. But if you're going to record audio, maybe it's not the best way to set it up because you're also using OBS to record audio, and then you don't want the mix all being in the same place. You want the OBS to be a mixer as well, because if you don't mix there, then the game audio, you have to create a workflow. You create a workflow in your head first, then you see if you can make the workflow work at all in terms of setting it up. And then you find out if the workflow actually works. And I tried to get it to work the other day, and I got on Warzone with Alex, and immediately he's like, I'm hearing myself talking. It's echoing, and I'm hearing your game, and I'm hearing and I was like, okay, I'm just going to turn all of this off until I have, like a day to sit down and really paper it out. I might have to write it all out on paper to make sure, because you have to literally map it. You have to map like this audio goes to A. This audio comes in here, goes out there, goes through this. That's my tirade. I have indigestion. It's really bad. It feels like I'm having a heart attack.
What'd you have to eat last night?
Pizza. Yeah. I've reached that age where I'm just not gonna settle at all. So wonderful, right? We were pizza eaters, I guess. I don't know.
Yeah.
It's bad.
Just
it's really
add it
bad.
to the list.
It's really bad. It's making my back hurt. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I don't know. So hi, Michael. How are you?
I'm doing well. How are you doing?
The sun is shining. It is a nice, beautiful day. Other than indigestion, I cannot complain about much of anything. It's break time, kind of, for a lot of people. It's a little bit less of break time around here because we have kids home from school. But so it's a kind of break time for everyone around the globe, mostly. We're having a little bit of a break as well. JJ is still out on assignment, and Godspeed to him. He's having a great time, I think. It looks very fun from the photos. I'm trying to log in to our...
Yeah, it really does.
I'm trying to log into our email because there's a particular question in there that I want to ask you, and I forgot to do it before we started, of course.
That is the nature of life these days.
Yeah, this indigestion reminded me that we got a question, and it inspired other questions in the email about food. Some people were responding to our food crimes, food things, food that, and asked us about some food stuff. And I figured since we were kind of in a food time of year, it might be some good time to talk about food stuff, I think.
Yeah.
I guess we should say you're playing a game and I'm playing a game while we're doing this because it's vacation time.
Yeah, so why not take advantage of it?
Yeah. We can do two things at once around here. I'm going to try out some more Loop Hero because it's that time. I would love to get further in this game. And your suggestion to me, and I'm going to take it right now, is that I'm switching classes because I was trying to do section 2 of the game with warrior or whatever it is, and a warrior, and I'm switching to rogue now to try out the second loop.
So I got stuck in the same way that you were describing that you felt stuck, which is that you didn't feel like you were making any progress with the warrior in the second loop. And so I changed classes to the rogue, and I felt like it lent itself a lot better to moving through the second loop.
Okay. Is it just the second ability seems to slow me down, like when I start to get further in the loop. What cards should I be using more of? Because currently I have 9 cards in my deck.
Mm-hmm.
I was doing a village vampire mansion build to try and get rid of the first loop boss. Oh, does the first loop boss show up in the second loop? Is that a thing?
No, that mechanic does occur, but not until a later loop.
So I have a completely different boss now at the end of the loop. Okay.
Yeah, the boss will be completely different.
I didn't notice this, but there are deck tabs. That's cool.
Yes.
I just noticed that there are deck tabs. So we're going to do deck 2, and I'm going to tell you stuff that I have, and then you're going to make my deck. And once we set this up, you're going to say what you're playing. We're going to talk about that a little bit, and then we'll do some food questions to distract us from our games. So I've got unlocked Cemetery, Village, Grove, Wheat, Swamp in the first row.
Okay.
You can choose up to 5.
Let's see. I really like, what do I usually play with? I usually play with the village and the wheat because that's a good combination if you can pair the wheat on either side of the village.
Of course.
And then I usually, I'm trying to remember what you need to do it, but I like turning the groves into blood groves.
Oh, then you just put blood grove in the next row. Yeah.
Yeah, there you go.
Okay. So the next row is Spider Cocoon, Vampire Mansion, Battlefield, Blood Grove, Road Lantern, Chrono Crystal.
So with those, let's see. I think I usually use the Road Lantern because when you can stack those, they help sort of keep down on the number of enemies in certain locations.
Okay.
So if you can place them strategically and overlap them, it'll keep the volume of enemies in any given loop from getting too large, so you feel overwhelmed.
In loop 1, I was starting to wonder if they were worthwhile because they didn't seem to come up very much. So you're saying you think they're worthwhile.
So what's going to happen is as you go on, the number of loops you do and the number of cards you see winds up increasing. So you're spending more time before you get to the boss.
Wait, say that again?
So the spawn of the boss is tied to I want to say it's the number of cards that you have played, but the number of cards required to spawn the boss I'm pretty sure increases with each successive boss, so you will eventually play more cards to get to the second boss than you had to play to get to the first one.
I am so confused. I have to concentrate. Okay, so I need to play more cards to get to the second boss than the first boss, but more cards will show up?
Well, because you wind up having to go spend more time in the loop playing cards, you will just see more cards.
Okay. And do
there's a
big
meter
fan of
when you're playing.
There's a what?
There's a meter when you're playing that shows you how close you are to the boss. That if you notice, that meter moves every time you play a card.
Right. Yes, I remember that from the first loop. I've now started capturing my screen. I was not capturing my screen before. But I figured for the YouTube people, this might be more interesting than us just talking the whole time about a game. You can actually see the stuff, at least on my end, that's going on. So I was a little distracted by that, but that's happening now. There won't be any game audio just because I would think it would be distracting while we're talking. So Road Lantern's cool. So I guess you just wait for more of them to show up and you let the cards burn themselves off. Okay, so Road Lantern. I've also got Chrono Crystals, Blood Grove, Battlefield, Vampire Mansion, Spider Cocoon here. Vampire pairs with Village, but though I don't know if you want it or not.
Yeah, I think I used to do the Battlefield, but not as frequently the vampires.
What about Spider Cocoon? Why Battlefield? Because you can get ghosts and it gets a chest.
Yeah, because of what you get from it every time you pass through.
Okay.
the resources.
So no vampire mansion. Got it. Spider cocoon or no spider cocoon?
I kind of bounced back and forth on that one. So some runs I would have it, and some runs I didn't.
Turning it off. Rocks, meadows.
Are those the only two you have?
Those are currently the only two I have. I mean, mountains comes with rocks, but you have to have two in this category. I guess there's more now that you've said that.
Yeah, so there are more, and what will really help you is getting far enough to unlock forests.
Okay, got it.
And I think that's tied to progression of your village.
My village is somewhat built, but not very well built currently. I seem to keep running out of
If you
rock
look
stuff.
through it,
Okay.
if you look through it, you should find something that's tied to like maybe
forests.
lumberjack, something like that.
Okay. All right,
which will unlock the forest.
We're gonna get Oblivion Beacon, which is the movement speed. Storm Temple, which does lightning strikes. Temporal Beacon, days past 50% faster, and Treasury.
Let's see. I think I did the speed one and the Treasury.
Speed of the day or movement speed?
Movement speed.
Okay, so and then Oblivion, yeah?
Mm-hmm. Yes, definitely Oblivion.
Always Oblivion, I would think. Okay, that's an 11 card deck. That's not bad. So I'm going to hit confirm on this. And then I'm going to go get a sparkling water to help my stomach settle. And I'll be right back. Oh, man. Are you a fan of the boobly? Are you? They're on sale currently. Here we go. Hold on. Here we go. I gotta do the thing on the oh, there. Crack, right? The boobly is on sale.
Oh, very nice.
So we're trying out the flavors. We grabbed mango and watermelon.
I like both of those. We just had the watermelon recently.
I felt bad. I read some stuff about the environment. And like all these flavored waters in cans and things like that.
Mm-hmm.
And then I think you have to take a little bit of your life and say, I enjoy this thing. And I offset it other places, like I drive an electric car, etc. You know?
Right.
And a lot of... I'm a stress eater. I don't know about you. But I definitely do. And it helps. It helps sometimes to have something like that around that's non-calorie. And so we'll enter our first little food thing here when I say non-calorie. And then we'll get to your game in a second. Michael, non-calorie or zero is kind of a trend recently. I don't know if you've noticed.
Yeah.
I'm going to hit start on my loop while we're talking about this.
Okay. Yeah, I just started the round that I'm in here.
Oh, I can't use a shield. Interesting. Zero is kind of a trend. I don't know if you've noticed this, but that's a joke. What is the bag? I have a bag. Number of trophies to exchange for rewards and camp. Interesting.
Yeah.
Zero is kind of a trend. Michael, I don't know really how to get into this discussion other than to say, would you drink a Budweiser Zero? No description about what it is.
I mean, I can make a guess as to what it is based on the name, but
what do you think it is?
That it's a 0-calorie Budweiser.
It's a 0-calorie Budweiser. My initial thought was that it was going to be a seltzer.
Yeah, I could see how you would make that as a determination.
Right? You would think maybe in your head, like, oh, yeah, that could be a seltzer. That might be good if it was a seltzer.
Yeah.
It's not a seltzer, Michael.
Okay.
It's just beer with no calories. The quote from the commercial that I saw was, first of all, I think it was Dwight Howard doing the commercial.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure it was Dwight Howard. And he says, Budweiser Zero. That same great flavor. No calories. To which I thought, how do you have the same great flavor with no calories? That sounds terrible. How do you do beer with no sugar? Oh God.
Hmm. I don't know about that.
I give Budweiser some credit actually recently. They came out with they have a seltzer. And I know a lot of people don't drink, and that's fine. But if you have been in the current beer market, the seltzer, I've finished my first loop. So, what do I do with this trophy bag? Will it
Did
do
it
it
give you
automatically?
anything?
Does it just do it automatically?
I think it does. I don't think you have to do anything with
I
it.
see. Okay. So if you kill more than 9 things, you just are gonna blow up all the gear, huh?
Oh yeah. So that's how the rogue works.
But if you get more than 9 things, or like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11 things in your bag. If you kill more than 11 enemies, you're just hosed. What are these boots doing? Oh, they just give you a stat. Boots. Okay,
Yeah.
interesting.
So the equipables change when you change classes.
I noticed I have 2 swords now, boots and armor, and that's it.
Yep.
That's cool. You must do a lot more damage.
You can.
Okay.
You definitely have that potential.
Um. God, this Budweiser seltzers are not terrible. They're pretty good. I actually give them credit for that because they could be bad, right? They could be really bad. Can a blood grove turn multiple groves into? Yeah, it can, right? I mean, you should put a blood grove in the middle of a bunch of other groves, or no, it doesn't matter.
No, it shouldn't matter.
Okay. Is there a trick to placement on the second round, or is it just sort of wherever you want?
No, not in the same way there was on the first round.
Got it. Well, that was my first food thing. Was have you heard of Budweiser Zero?
Oh man, this has gotten difficult.
What has gotten difficult? I guess we should
So-
start talking about what you're doing on your end of things, there, bud.
Okay, there's the second round.
We finished my Budweiser, and we've been working on Loop Hero. So you fill me in here because JJ's gonna need to know.
Yes. So I shot JJ a note directly about an hour ago just to let him know that I had started. But he got each of us a copy of Inscryption.
Yes.
Which he has been playing for a couple of weeks now and has been just raving about it.
Literally nonstop. Not in a bad way, but like in a you must be very impressed kind of way.
Yeah, like you guys need to play this as soon as possible kind of way. And I see why he likes it.
Oh, okay.
I really do.
You're not a big deck builder guy, though.
I'm not, but I like this one. And I don't know how much I want to say for the same reason that he didn't say much about it, because he didn't want to really give anything away.
But it's a deck builder, right? I mean, it's more of a deck builder than Loop Hero is a deck builder.
Oh, for sure.
Loop Hero is barely a deck builder. I mean, you're choosing a deck, quote unquote, of cards to encounter, but oh, interesting. You can't. Oh, you place the battlefield off the track. Got it. Okay. You encounter some stuff to do and to fight, based on your cards, but it's not really a deck builder. You're not trying to draw through a deck and all that kind of thing.
Yeah.
Like you are in other games. But so what you're playing Inscryption, which has been all the rage this year, I would say. Like maybe literally all of the rage. And it's deck building. It's what else is it? He's very happy with it.
Yeah, there is. I will say it's kind of a game that it's 2 games almost in one. And I won't tell you what the second one is because it's fun to figure out for yourself as you're going through.
Oh.
But there is more going on than just the deck building game.
Okay. That's fun.
Yeah. Yeah, so it's
And again, I don't know if it's meta or not meta, but the outdoor or the a secondary game is the mind blowing part. Maybe I don't know.
yeah, so the secondary part is a little bit what keeps you engaged.
Okay.
Although the game itself is a lot of fun.
I can't imagine JJ steering us wrong. Obviously,
No.
so it's got to be fun. Not having not having vampires is kind of weird to me. I'm kind of weirded out right now. Normally I have vampires everywhere, and yeah, it's crazy. So you are kind of engaging with two aspects of games at the same time. And how is the deck building? I know you're not a huge deck builder guy. Are you having any trouble?
No, not really. The mechanics are fairly straightforward, right? It's pretty standard for a deck builder. You have, health and defense are the two numbers on your card. Cards have cost for a lot of the stronger ones, and the cost increases as the cards get stronger.
And you're doing like a
There are
battles with the
Yeah,
cards?
so it's you're on a grid of it's a 12 card grid. So you have your 4 spaces, and then your opponent has 8. So 4 active and then 4 queued. And at least as far as I've found, you don't get to queue cards.
Oh, interesting. So you have to react.
Yes.
Huh.
Yeah. Although you can interact with the cards that they have queued.
Can interact with the cards they have queued. That's
Yeah.
an interesting mechanic.
Yes, it is.
Huh. I wonder why they do it that way.
Some of it has to do with the way that damage is calculated.
Okay. Yeah. Okay. I can see that.
Um,
Has your mind been blown yet, or are you still kind of waiting for the story to develop?
um,
It sounds like it's getting
Sorry,
your attention pretty
something
good.
unexpected just happened.
Uh-oh.
It's
Do we need to pause while you
no,
while
no,
you
no,
take
no,
it in?
no. It's good.
See, this is why I wonder about like that kind of a game about doing playing something at the same time. Oh, crit damage. I'm sorry if I'm interrupting you. I'm sorry.
No worries.
That's just a new stat that I had not seen yet. Is crit damage chance?
Yes.
Wow. 25% chance to do 140 damage. 140% damage. That's kind of crazy.
Uh-huh.
That's a whole new stat for me to take into account. Huh.
I have. Oh, okay. This is new.
New mechanics getting
Okay,
hit.
these I'll definitely have to do later because they look like videos.
Videos. Can you?
Yeah.
So you have to do stuff on the side, basically.
Yeah. So I guess I finished a run.
Okay.
And so now I have this set of videos to watch. I wonder, can I exit and come back into this? It looks like it.
Wow, don't miss out on my account.
Yeah, maybe we just minimize this for now.
It could be dangerous, but we have some food questions, and I can keep asking you Loop Hero questions because that's not a huge deal.
Yeah. So with the rogue, the one thing I did want to say, and this is kind of tied to the forest, the power of the rogue is your ability to go fast. Gotta go fast.
Go fast towards the end of your loop. Go fast how?
No, so speeding up your attack speed.
But your dude in the previous iteration, let's say, of this, if you got too much attack speed, you got tired. Is that still a thing? with the
Yes, it
rogue
is
even?
still a thing with the rogue.
Okay.
But you can get to the point where even being tired, you're dealing enough damage in just like pure speed to compensate for some of it.
I now have a new trait that I can choose. The hero gets 1 max HP for each trophy he gets since the trait is taken. Okay. 10% chance to simultaneously attack 2 targets seems really good. Rat Wolf
Hmm.
may come to your aid, 75% chance. Also seems really good.
I really like the Rat Wolf. It's
Done.
really helpful to have someone else
Take
attacking with you and taking
tanking, it seems
damage.
like. Yeah.
Yeah.
Tanking might be a
Yes,
thing.
both of those things are really good. So that is one of the ones that I really like to see.
Quest failed. Aw, game.
What?
I put down a beacon to remove so there's a goblin camp on the board now because I've been placing a lot of rocks.
Yep.
And
Oh, you
I
failed the
put some
quest.
beacons down and it removed the guy that was the quest instead of removing anybody else from the tile.
Yep. Yeah,
Man,
that happens. But
boo.
you'll get when you pass back through the town, you'll get a new quest.
Oh, of course. And I now have three towns on the board, so
Yeah, there you go.
this seems good. Maybe I should up my critical damage. That seems good. Oh, wow. Oh boy. All right. Are you ready for the next food related question? I'm about to build my mountain. Boom.
Yeah.
There's my mountain.
I have set Inscryption aside for this moment. So hit me with it.
Okay. This is the email question that we got. And it is verbatim from Kyle. Verbatim, it says, "What's a good food you could eat every day? Something that might be a food crime." I think we should make extra rules for this because I think it's somewhat of maybe too basic because or too wide open. Maybe we need to set our own rules to kind of maybe delineate the question a little bit better so we can come up with a better answer.
Yeah, okay.
I don't think I would eat something every day that is a food crime.
Yeah.
So I don't know what that part of this question means. Yeah, it's great. This rat wolf's tanking all the damage for me. What? Would we have to cook it? Would we have to buy it? What would we, like what is, I don't know. What is the answer here? Is it the only thing we eat? Is it part of what we eat? I would say it's not the only thing we eat because I would never answer
You would
yes.
have it every day, but it wouldn't be the only thing you ate every day.
I don't like that thing where it's like, oh, what fast food would you eat every single meal of every day? What could you eat if you didn't? And I'm like, no,
It wouldn't matter.
Yeah, life.
It wouldn't matter, right? Because
exactly.
you'd get tired of whatever it was.
Yeah, there's no food. Like if you answer that question, you're like, I'd never get tired of X, Y, or Z thing. You're lying to yourself. I think.
You need a bigger category, right? So for me, the category of food that I could eat every day and did at one point in my life for like a 3-month span was pasta.
Oh, okay. Yeah, because you were in Italy.
I studied abroad. In Italy, and it was part of the meal every night with the host family that we were staying at. Right, there was always something else, but there was always pasta.
Yeah, that's very. We'll come back to that. I'm currently watching a show, and I was kind of surprised at the amount of pasta in the show.
Okay.
We'll talk about that. Let me write that down. Okay, pasta and the show. Cool. Okay, so pasta every day, some part of the meal, or some not every meal, but some part of the day.
Yeah.
That I could do for sure. I don't know how my body would react to that being 35 now.
Yep.
I don't know if I could eat pasta every day.
Yeah, at the time being 20, I still gained like 10 pounds over the 3 months.
How do they do it? I don't understand how they do it.
A lot of smoking, I think. I make that joke, but our very first day there, we had we got paired up. Each student got paired up with a local student, and so they brought all the local students who we were paired up with to where we had class on the first day that we were all there, so we could all meet each other. And one of the girls in our group asked one of the girls in their group what they like to do for exercise, and the girl actually responded, "Oh, we just smoke."
No,
Yes,
that can't
was
be
her
true.
answer.
They just smoke. That's the answer.
That was the answer she gave.
My goodness. My goodness. What an answer. Wow.
So, but you know, it's we were in Florence, and Florence is a walking city, so you walk just about everywhere.
That would be called exercise, I think.
Yes.
In most
So that offsets some of it.
Okay, that would be an answer to me. Like, you know, like, hey, we don't drive everywhere like Americans, you know.
Right.
Okay. Cool. Pasta is a good answer. I think if I could eat something like that lightly during the day, or like as part of a meal all the time, what would it be? It's hard to concentrate on that, and you know, gosh, I don't have a food that I would just eat all the time. Maybe it would be potatoes.
Okay.
I don't ever feel bad eating a potato, especially like a baked potato, or like there's so many different ways you could throw potatoes in every day to
Sure.
something.
Like you could have them as hash browns for breakfast one morning, and then
yeah,
lots of different options.
Often they end up fried, unfortunately, but they could not end up fried if you didn't want them to be, you know.
Yeah.
So yeah, I guess that would probably be it. Is potatoes. I didn't really think about this question ahead of I knew that we were going to answer this question, but I didn't think about my answer ahead of time, which is kind of a weird thing to have done, I guess. Okay, so there you have it, Kyle. Thank you for your question. I like potatoes a lot, and so that would probably be. I like pasta a lot too, but you already took that answer, so we're just gonna go with potatoes. Cool. Yeah. So I've got an 18% chance for 183% damage. That doesn't seem high enough. But I don't seem to be getting...
Say that again?
18% chance for 183% damage. But it doesn't seem very... like it's happening a lot. But I'm starting to get to the point where I'm getting like level 10 gear. And but I can't change it out because the old gear has the crit damage and all that sort of stuff on it.
So this is one of the things that you'll start to get a feel for as you do more and more runs, is when it's better to hang on to buffs at the expense of straight stat increases.
Mm-hmm.
And at a certain point, you'll start to feel like you're not keeping up with the damage that enemies are outputting.
Yeah.
And at that point, it starts to become more worth it to just buff your stats than to have the added buffs from older equipment.
Right. Okay. So when I start to feel like I'm falling behind again is the time to start.
And sometimes sometimes you'll find things that are kind of like a side grade to what you have.
Right. Sure.
The equipment won't be any better, but you get a slightly better buff, or a different buff that works better for the build that you've got.
Yeah. How many blood groves should I be putting out there? What's the benefit of a blood grove?
The benefit of the blood grove is that they will, when you get into battle next to one,
It'll eat people.
They will. I don't remember if they totally consume or just like immobilize anything at critical health. So you don't have to. I think they consume it, so you don't actually have to deal 100% damage to take an enemy off the board.
Right. Oh, interesting. I didn't pick up until recently that meadows are better when you place them around stuff like rocks and
Oh yes, you get a boost when they're placed next to something,
yeah, I just noticed that.
which is why things like treasuries are really good because you can sort of double up what you're doing, right? You
Right.
place the treasury and then you surround it with meadows and you get a boost from the meadows and you work to fill in around the treasury.
Getting into your head how things fit together. Oh man, I'm getting my butt kicked by the goblin camp because there's a quest there.
Oh
Getting
yeah.
into your head where things fit together and how is part of the game, like a big part of the game. Like, oh, I have to pre-plan for getting a treasury and then hoping you get the treasury soon, right?
Yep.
Smoke screen. Lose 20% of his max HP. This hero will evade all attacks for 2 seconds. Surveyor. Each time the hero passes through a loop, gain 0.5 HP for each non-road tile. Hero gets 1 HP max for each trophy he gets. Smokescreen or Old Scars? The HP max seem good. I don't know.
Yeah, I'm trying to remember which of those I would
Smokescreen helps me
use.
avoid more damage, so why not?
Yeah, that's the other thing with the rogue is that you want to evasion is a stat that you can boost with equipment.
Yeah.
And if you can boost your evasion really high, you can avoid a lot of incoming damage.
How often do you fill out your treasuries, or do you wait towards close to the end of the loop?
I usually do them. I think I usually do them right away.
Oh, okay.
But there is some value in waiting because once you empty them out, they start spawning harpy.
Oh
No,
yeah. Uh, uh gar
yeah, harpies.
no,
Gargoyle
harpies
because
come.
gargoyles are.
Harpies are
Am
from
I
the mountains.
backwards?
Gargoyles is
Okay.
from the thing. Yeah.
Yeah, yeah.
Yep. All right. Are you ready for my pasta story?
Yeah, let's hear it.
I have been watching The Sopranos
Uh-huh.
for the first time. I never had access to HBO uh, as a kid, I guess you would say. I obviously should not have had access to HBO to watch The Sopranos probably at the time that it was on the air, I think. I don't remember
Yeah, we're
exactly the
probably
first year.
a hair young.
Yeah, I think I was a little young for it to have been a thing that I should be watching. So I decided recently that I should watch things like The Sopranos that a lot of people said were good. Uh, Michael, sometimes old stuff that is old is still better than new stuff that is new.
This is true. Just because it is old, it does not make it necessarily inferior.
Right? Like it definitely looks wise is inferior, even though it's prestige, quote unquote TV. Um, it just doesn't have the same quality of camera work, even. Or obviously the cameras were worse at that point in time, so you can't judge it based on the quality of the cameras as much.
Mm-hmm.
But you can judge kind of the camera work, and even that was not as evolved as it is now when it comes to that sort of thing.
Right.
I still think though that it is pretty fantastic for what it is. I can't believe how many times I catch myself noticing that, like, oh, I'm having anxiety for the guy on the screen that is having anxiety, but I shouldn't care at all. He's a gangster and he's hurting people. You know, like they're doing a good job making me feel for a guy that is not a good guy.
Yeah.
Every scene in that show, every time they sit down, it's basically penne with pasta sauce on it everywhere, all the time.
Mm-hmm.
Penne pasta sauce, all the time. I could not believe it when I was like, wow, they really are they just eat pasta. That's all they do. Anyway, that was my story about everybody eating pasta all the time.
Nice.
I'm just putting these groves down everywhere now. I don't know why. I just feel like I should. They eat a lot of pasta in that show. New stuff that is new is also good. I haven't gotten very far into The Witcher season 2 yet, but that would be new stuff that is good, right? Like
It has been very good. We're a couple episodes in.
okay, yeah, no spoilers. I don't need them.
Yeah,
Um,
yeah.
I know it's going to be good, and I'm gonna watch it. There's no question. In that aspect of things, I just don't know. I'm falling behind in equipment here. I'm just gonna upgrade everything and then see what we can upgrade later. Are you ready for your next question? Because this may have been the food that I should have answered I could eat every time, every day, other than potatoes. But I
Okay.
thought of this after I knew we were going to answer a few food questions today. And I want to see what you think, if there's an answer to this or not.
All right.
What food can you not add avocado to? And I'm sure someone out there's like all foods because avocados are bad. But that's the
Yeah.
wrong answer because avocados are good.
Yes, I agree with that. What food? I mean, a lot of dessert comes to mind.
But I've made dessert out of avocado. There's a really,
Sure, sure. Like
yeah.
there are desserts that lend themselves to incorporating avocado. I think most of them that I have seen also use chocolate in some way.
Yes, mousse style stuff
Yep. Yeah.
is
So I would
often
say
uses it because of the high fats in the avocado.
I would say probably non-chocolate desserts.
Interesting. I was going to ask about ethnic foods in general that don't have access to avocados. Often ones that have lots of sauces, like Chinese foods, Indian foods.
Yeah.
Like, would you add avocado to those? You know, we were sitting in the kitchen the other day, and I was just like, I could add like we had a bunch of overripe avocados that we're gonna start going. I was like starting to add it to every meal, and I thought, what could I not add? Everything I have in front of me is a rock or a mountain, and I don't want to keep putting them down.
Yeah, I mean, at some point you just have to clear space.
Yeah, I don't think I have many of those memory fragments yet, so maybe I'll just let a lot of these run off the board. I think the answer is places that didn't have access to avocados might not. Although there was American foods from the East Coast that didn't have access to avocados. But like I wouldn't add avocado to a pasta dish sometimes.
Yeah.
Yeah. I don't know. But there are pasta dishes you could add avocado to.
True. True. Like pasta, there are definitely pasta salads that
Pasta
have like
salad,
tomato and avocado
for
and
sure.
yeah.
Can you
So,
think of other foods like avocado that end up on a lot of stuff?
I mean, bacon is the obvious one that comes to mind.
You know, I haven't added much bacon to our cooking recently. I don't know why. Um, I think it might be one of those foods that other than like at a restaurant, I'm trying to think of where to place a beacon at the same time that I'm coming up with this idea. Other than that, at a restaurant or like in a very specific, like a carbonara recipe.
Yeah.
I'm going to finish this treasury now. Oh gosh, I'm glad for that. I guess it's fine. I'll just fight another camp. It's okay. A carbonara needs some sort of high fat thing like a bacon. You can't really replace it. I don't know what else you would put in there to recreate that flavor profile, you know?
Yeah.
But yeah, it's kind of on my downgrade list due to more sensitive stomachs these days. I don't know. Bacon.
Yeah.
High fat stuff is not going well over here. Like I just said, pizza and cheese. It sucks getting older, my man.
I hear that.
in this aspect. It doesn't suck getting older in a lot of other aspects.
Yeah.
I get to sit here and play video games in the middle of the day on a Monday sometimes, just because. Wow, I got so the Blood Grove gives off one of those dudes, those big dudes. I don't know what you call them.
Yes. So that is the downside to like everything in that game that can help you for the most part also has a downside. And that is the downside to the Blood Groves.
Mountains seem
the like swamp creature things.
Yeah. Mountains seem inherently better than rocks. Yeah, they take a lot of damage. I got another treasury. I guess I should try and figure out how to fill it out. I can't decide if meadows are better than mountains. Like healing versus just static HP increase.
Yeah, if you've still got a bunch of rocks, can't you just surround the treasury with that?
I could, yeah. I could.
And that kills 2 birds.
I do have a bunch of rocks. Should I Oblivion this camp, or should I just let it run out and kill the people in it so that I gain more kills? That's always the question, right?
Yeah.
Do you want more kills or not?
Tended to leave my Oblivions for the bandits.
Bandits. Oh, to get rid of them off the villages?
Yeah.
Do they do more damage? Is that why?
Well, they would just frequently stack with whatever was already going on in the village.
Okay.
So you'd occasionally wind up. I found myself running into situations where there were just too many enemies on one tile for me to deal with.
Attack the dog, dude. Not me. The dog is there for you to hurt. That's what it's there for. Man. Oh boy. You know, I talked about the sound problem with at the beginning of this. I don't know if I was recording then. I'll have to go back and find out. Whoops. Windows is a bunch of interesting issues. We touched on it a couple episodes ago, but I could list you some weird stuff in Windows 11. Are you ready?
Sure, yeah.
So right click, do you have your desktop up?
I do.
Right click on an icon. And
on the desktop?
Yeah, anything. Just right click on an icon. And you get the menu that's like open, pin, move to, some hot context items. Then down below, it's like give access to, send to, cut, copy, create shortcut, delete, rename properties.
Yeah.
Okay, they've created another menu when you right click in Windows 11 that has cut, paste, copy, rename, and delete all as icons in a bar across the top.
Okay.
A few of those context items like compress to a zip file and stuff like that in a little menu. And then a show more options thing that brings up the menu you're looking at. So to get to properties, I have to click 3 times instead of 2.
Right.
And move the mouse twice down a menu instead of once. And doing this podcast, I need to get to the properties menu every day that I edit something. Wow, crit for 300 damage. That was cool.
I wonder if that's a setting that you can change somewhere.
So I looked online, and it currently is not yet a setting, but they said that they have heard people and will be changing it.
Okay. Yeah, that's the kind of thing that feels like they would tweak it to add change this back to what you're used to.
Like change it back to what's more useful. Like, it's just not useful to have 2 menus do the same thing. The ghost became a ghost of itself. Thanks.
Yeah.
Thanks, Battlefield. Wonderful.
Thanks,
game. Yeah. I need to Oblivion some stuff. I'm getting my butt kicked over here. Yeah, that's gonna have to die. Okay. Yeah, get my butt kicked. That's okay.
Yeah, it always happens the first few loops.
Well, and there's something to be 11. I don't know when I should be planning to face the boss, but I am currently on loop 11. I don't know when normal people face bosses in this game.
I don't remember because it's tied to the number of cards that you play. So you can go a couple of loops,
but you can always kind of like design when you're going to hit the boss based on playing
Yes,
cards, right?
you can.
Another interesting Windows issue was the first day that I was trying to set up the computer. I was trying to install the audio drivers, right?
Yeah.
But Windows is too smart, quote unquote. And every time the computer booted, it would reinstall the drivers. So the old way of Windows trying to figure out what it needs when it needs it, they overwrote and decided, well, Windows will just check everything when it starts up now, because that's the smarter way. And it might be for people that don't know what they're doing. But when I'm trying to install new drivers, and the process is that the driver installer uninstalls the Windows driver and then requires you to reboot for it to then install the new driver, Windows kept installing the new driver as it rebooted. And then the program would kick in as a boot item and be like, I need to uninstall the old driver.
Okay.
So I was in a boot loop of it just trying to uninstall drivers all the time. So I had to go into the BIOS, disable the audio hardware in the BIOS so that Windows would not see it, and then try to install for it. Install it, go back into the BIOS, turn it all back on.
Oh,
Crazy, right?
that sounds like a headache.
Weird. Okay, I have a new trait to pick from.
Okay.
Picky lowers quantity of items received on the camp tile by 3, but increasing the quality. That seems really good.
Uh-huh.
That seems like there's no question that I should not pick that. However,
What
the next
are the other two? But that one is, yeah.
Card sharp is keep card, 10% chance to keep a card. Who cares?
Hmm.
Hero receives 7% less damage for every enemy starting after the second enemy. So 3 and more, you take less damage. Seems bad.
Yeah, you definitely want the better equipment.
Yeah. Okay. Level 6.
That one's one of the ones that's a no-brainer anytime it shows up.
Yeah, it seemed like it would be. Pure damage, damage to all. That is a lot more damage, but doesn't help my stats. Anyway. And then another one for you. The Windows Store
Okay.
won't work. If something has happened to desync your computer from the world clock.
Okay, that makes sense. I have heard of other stores that do that.
It also will not work if Windows is not activated.
Okay. Yep.
But it will allow some updates to happen if you need them, but not others. And you can't... I'm going to die here. I might have needed to stop after that loop. I'm taking a lot of damage. I was distracted. Maybe I might lose here. Yep, I just died. Oh, well. I lose a lot of stuff. What does take all mean? What?
So when you beat a boss, you get
Like a
you get a skull.
Yeah, I have a skull.
You get a skull,
Uh-huh.
and I think you can trade those in to keep everything when you get killed.
I see. So I should just click that. Take all.
If you have a lot of stuff that you don't want to lose.
Oh, how it works. You have to have 2 skulls to take all.
Okay. So
I
yeah,
see.
that's what it is.
Okay. Well, that's a new mechanic that I hadn't heard about. That's cool.
Yep.
All right.
Yeah.
Well, I
so
died.
if you beat the first boss a couple of times and have some skulls banked.
Supply depot unlocks supply feature. From now on, you will start finding useful supply items for the people in camp. I don't know what that means. Unlocks the ability to craft supply items if you have the necessary buildings. Unlocks the ruins card. It seems like I should build that.
Yeah, I feel like the ruins in the battlefield were both ones that I played with frequently.
Okay, I'm building a supply depot. Ooh, we got a new person here. Good news. We've come up with a list of things we need. I can't say they're all absolutely necessary, but they would make our lives a bit easier. We can't eating dirt. You aren't eating dirt. I have a bunch of farms. Uh, furniture, tools, a company, what? Weird. Oh, supply and craft. They have two new menu items: supply and craft.
Okay, so these, I think they're what I'm remembering. You get you'll start to find items
Okay,
that give you passive bonuses.
in loops. I'll find them.
Yes, within, I think you find them in the ruins. Not every time you go through, but occasionally when you pass through a ruin, you'll find an item.
I see, and you can like equip one of them. Got it.
Yeah, you can equip a couple of them at a time, and I think there's a way to increase the number that you can equip.
It says I can craft a created item type. So there's, I can craft food, and I can craft something that looks like a pliers and a fence.
Yeah, so if you go to the pliers one,
Uh huh.
you can play around with the crafting, but you can make yourself items from raw materials as well.
I see. So is it always random what you make?
Ooh, yes.
Let's try one. I made garlic. +2 to heroes damage against vampires. That's cool.
Yep.
Let's make another one from there. Crafting cheese. I made cheese. 1 HP after killing an enemy. Okay, so I can just equip these somewhere, huh? Loaf of bread. 10 max HP. All right. That's not super helpful, but hey, why not? We'll craft one of these other things. Farmer's Scythe. 5% chance to receive rations while passing through a wheat field. Okay. And you might get extras of these that you then have to dismantle, basically?
Yeah. So if you get extras, you can dismantle them back into raw materials. I have mostly found that the items are more useful than the food.
Okay. So do these go into the supply? You can like put them places?
You should have a tab somewhere
I
where
see.
you can equip them.
Oh, wow. You can equip a lot of them. Cool. Okay. Right on. Okay. Well, hey, we learned something today. Nice. Well, I think that's a good place for us to leave it. Although, it took me very little time to fix the Windows Store. By the way, that was the easiest problem to sort out.
Sure.
Once I activated Windows, it was like, okay, restart, and I'll let you get on the store.
You have an official copy now.
It just worked, by the way. My old key, I didn't have to worry about it to get on Windows 11. I'm glad I'm on Windows 11. It'll sort itself out, I'm sure. But that's fine. It's all good. Stats. Let's flip through some of these stats. I've killed 3,000 things in this game.
Nice.
It took me 14 loops to beat the Lich.
Okay.
I don't know what that means. I don't know what a lot of these mean. It's fine. Cool. Right on. Well, hey, Happy New Year.
Yeah. Next time we record, it will be 2022.
I cannot believe that. It's like unfathomable how that happened.
I know. As slow as last year passed by, this year just sort of blinked out.
Yeah. Crazy. Well, I hope everyone out there finds a game like an Inscryption or a Loop Hero or something like that, and they chill. Find some time to chill before 2022 because it's gonna be more of the same. Yeah. And I think we all need a little break, a little fun, a little ability to relax, and you should find it soon. And find it gently. There's a Steam sale going on. Find a game on there,
Epic sale is still going as well.
I'm a little torn. Yakuza is leaving Game Pass, and I didn't get a chance to play it.
Oh no.
I know. And they're all on sale through Game Pass, like 75% off or something like that.
Yep.
So there's a chance I might grab those through Game Pass. I don't know. Just because they seem good. Everybody likes those games. We'll see. So maybe next time, maybe not. Maybe the time after that, JJ will be back. Well, we've got some family coming in, so we'll see when the carbon scoring and stuff like that can get edited. This will be up our normal Wednesday time slot. And pretty soon we'll do things of the year. That'll be fun.
Yeah. So if you've got things of the year of your own, we'd love to hear about them. You can send us an email at podcast@weweregamers.com. Yes.
Not .org.
But yeah, we do our things of the year every year, so it would be fun to hear what has captured other people's fancy.
Yeah, things like Disney Plus have been a thing of the year.
Yeah.
Buying a Switch was a thing of the year. Sometimes it's actually games. I think there will be at least one this year. And it's not always limited to one thing of the year, but usually we try to target one or two, and that'll be fun. Until then, everyone have a very nice, long, healthy, relaxed new year. Hopefully you safely see friends and family a little bit, and our hopes to you for a wonderful 2022. That rhymed. It was why I stuttered in the middle, because I tried to find a way to rhyme it. Okay. Get those videos queued up, my man. Let's see what's going on in Inscryption.
Yeah, I'm curious here where this is going. I while we were recording, I texted JJ that I finished a run and got to some videos ? And that I'm liking the meta, and his response was just, yeah, the rabbit hole goes real deep.
All right. I love it. I feel like Loop Hero is a great game for playing distracted, like we have just done. However, just like playing distracted, I totally didn't notice that my health was at the point that I should have stopped at the camp.
Yep, that happens. Yeah. You get too involved with trying to make choices on everything else and
didn't just miss my health. Yeah. All right, well that's a wrap, and we'll be back soon. Bye, everybody.
Take care.